Hi, this is Max, and I'm here to provide a review of my very first Filofax. The purpose of this review is to merely share my experience in utilizing my Filofax. I'm pretty new to the Filofax. I got this back in September. It was actually a graduation gift from my wife when I completed my master's program. And just to give you a bit of background, my wife, she's probably collected and utilized Filofaxes a little less than a year now, and every time I look over at her workstation, she has all the stationary equipment, just a library of Filofaxes, all the varying colors. She even has like this toolbox that's pink, and it has all these pens and scissors and hole punches and things like that. So at first I was kind of like, meh, oh, whatever. But she sat me down one day and we went to the Filofax website, and she pointed out the Holborn to me, and it caught my eye, and I expressed some interest to it. So she purchased it for me as a gift when I completed my program, and ever since I got my hands on it, I could not let go of it. When I do let go of it, it is in reaching distance, so it is an arm's reach radius for me to grab my Filofax, and I just love this thing to death. And again, the reason for this review is just to express how I utilize my Filofax. I am a new user to it, and it's more geared toward the guys out there who may be in a similar situation where their wives are really into Filofaxes, but are maybe considering it, and just want to share how I use my Filofax. But today I'm going to talk about the Holborn A5 organizer. From what I understand, A5 is close to, not necessarily the largest size, but it's perfect for the way I use it, and I'm going to go over that here in a few minutes. And let's talk about the exterior of this wonderful piece. It comes in this soft leather. You could either get it in brown or black. It does come in either this leather strap button closure, or you could use, or they come into a complete enclosure with a zipper. I prefer the leather strap with the button because it just gives it that very professional look, very handsome. I love the stitching on the borders just to accent all the details that are on the exterior of this Holborn, and I just love it. Aside from the way it looks, it is also durable. Yeah, it is pliable, but I take this thing when I go to the gym. Whenever I go, like for example, if it's strength training day and I got a bench press, I'll take this thing, I'll throw it underneath the bench, do my business with however much weights, how many reps, how many sets, open it up, and I'll annotate all that stuff, and it's right there. If you go to the gym, you might see guys carry around a notebook, or a little notepad and a pen or pencil or whatever, and they'll jot down their performance data. This is light enough that it doesn't encumber me when I take this to the gym. So it's durable and just lightweight. So, okay, I think that's enough about the exterior. Let's go ahead and open it up. And by the way, I really love the sound of that button, because whenever I open it, I know it's time for Filofax business, and I get pretty stoked that I'm about to put some data into this thing. Alright, when you open it, the front cover does have a variety of pockets at your disposal. You do have this side pocket, goes about 3.5 inches deep. Then you have another pocket right here, same depth, and you have a bunch of these business card pockets, which could also fit credit cards and driver's license, ID, whatever you have, and it could double as your wallet if you wanted to. And then you have a much deeper pocket, about the same width as or length as a credit card, so you have that at your disposal if you so desire. Now we also have this, it's called a flyleaf cover. Yeah, plastic flyleaf cover, and you use this to, you use this to protect the interior contents, all your papers and things, so it keeps them from getting tangled or bent up from it being pinched with the rings and the front cover and the back cover. So that's what it's there for. I do have a pen loop, elastic pen loop, and of course you see it's empty. I'm not sure yet if I want to use this or not. I had a red pen in there at one point, but it is not there, obviously. I'm more partial to pencils. I do have a mechanical pencil. Nothing special. It's a 0.5 millimeter pencil, mechanical pencil, and I don't even have the clip pinched into the pen loop, which by the way is also leather with the same stitching, and it just holds it fine. I've never had an incident where it has fallen off. But something about pencil, I love this way of the sound of lead scratching against paper, so I'm a little old school like that. But that's what I use. Of course, a pen will fit in there nice, if it's the same dimensions. So I have another flyleaf cover there. Let's see. My wife, she made these page dividers for me, and it's actually an excerpt from my favorite comic book series called Spawn back in the early 90s, and I had copies of some of these comic books, so I chose the favorite images, my favorite images, and she went ahead and made these dividers with the laminators, so it helped customize my Filofax, and I really appreciate that. So let's see here. Okay, primarily I use my Filofax as a calendar and as a journal. So the calendar that I do use the week on 2 pages, and it does the trick for what I do in my everyday activities. For example, I'm really into fitness. My employment requires me to be physically fit, and plus it's kind of like a little hobby of mine now. So I keep track of all my strength training days, all my conditioning days, and I annotate all my performance data. I even annotate my water intake with these little hash marks. I also abbreviate all the supplements that I take, and I write down what I ate for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So, of course, if there's anything in the office that's going on, I'll write that down if it requires my attention. I'm not too keen on the hours. You do have these hours every other line, so as you can see, you do have the days of the week on the top, and there's a column underneath each day, so you have all this real estate you could use to populate your information. So if you wanted to, you could use the hours. I don't. If there was something that I needed to be aware of, I'd write down the time and the location. But I'm not saying it's a negative, because I could see how people would like to incorporate that, but I don't. So what else? Also, my wife, she'll commandeer my Filofax, and we'll sync Filofaxes together, so she'll write down anything that I need to be aware of. And it's also in pink and red, so I know that she wrote it, and it's in better penmanship. So, but yeah, fitness, work stuff, family things. Another note: if you're a marathon runner, of course, you know the kind of training that they go through. I ran 4 half marathons in the past, but you could totally just lay out all your training regimens for each week if you wanted to. So I know you have a long run, you have a medium run, 2 short runs, and some strength training in there. So you could easily incorporate that in here. I am also in a Biggest Loser competition, so I did annotate somewhere back here that I weighed 213 pounds at the start of competition. Now 10 days later, I am now 202. So looking pretty good, and I'm using this to track my performance and my progress with that little competition there. So, which I know I'm going to win. And let's see, let's move on to the journal. So I do use graph paper. I write really tiny, and graph paper just works really well for me. I feel like I have a lot of real estate. I write tiny anyway, so each of these lines, I feel like I just have a lot of room to work with. Let's see. So yeah, from what I understand though, Filofax may be not discontinuing graph paper. My wife alerted me to the fact that Filofax is no longer selling these, or at least there isn't any more in stock, so a little scared about that. However, a family friend of ours was in a Filofax store somewhere out of the country, and she had purchased five stacks of graph paper for me, so I'm pretty excited. But yeah, if you write small like I do, I highly recommend graph paper. I also use this to keep track of all the tech maintenance I do around the house, all the upgrades that I do to my rig, all the upgrades I do to my wife's desktop. And I do have a little scratch pad section here because I don't want to waste anything on my precious graph paper, which apparently might be gone. And if I'm on the go, I write something real quick here, and then I'll go back to my graph paper. If I want to keep that information, I'll put it there. But otherwise, I do have a scratch paper section. Just the line paper. This came with the Holborn when my wife got it for me. And let's see. I do have a contact section, but I have not utilized it yet. I want to one of these days. The reason I have not is because all my information is on my smartphone right now. But, you know, you might run out of batteries, and it has happened before. Not that I had to make an emergency phone call or anything like that, but it's good to have a backup. So one of these days I will populate this with data. And I do have this plastic pouch that you could put miscellaneous things. I don't know. I was thinking about getting these Disneyland ticket stubs laminated and hole punched into this thing, but right now it is my miscellaneous pouch container. Oh my goodness! And I do have a flyleaf cover that has apparently fallen off. See, it's doing the trick. Look at that. There's even a break here, so that could have been a piece of paper that might have been important inside my Filofax. It's in the very back. And let's see. I do have the Holborn does come with another interior pocket here. This looks a little deeper than the front pocket, so maybe about 4 inches. You have a side pocket here. So another one there. And there is also a zipper compartment that you could put things like maybe cash and whatever if you wanted to use this as a wallet. So that pretty much concludes my review of my Holborn A5. I love this thing to death. I'm so glad that I have it. Like I said, it's very durable. I know that my wife she oil treats some of her Filofaxes, so I haven't had a need to get this oil treated. I mean, like I said, I take this to the gym. I take it in and out of my bag a lot. I haven't seen any noticeable dings or things like that, but I'm sure one of these days I'm going to take it to my wife and empty the contents and have her oil change this thing. So that's kind of the first part of my review. The second part is on this bag. And the reason for that is because I know that sometimes, my wife told me this too, that folks in the community will talk about their Filofaxes and they'll talk about the bag that they carry in it. Now this is the A5 size. Anything bigger than this won't fit in this bag. Anything smaller will fit in here just fine. So I love the bag because I didn't want this, as durable as I'm saying that this is, if it does rain, it will get through and soak up my pages. So I didn't want to use a backpack, and of course I didn't want to use any kind of fanny pack or whatever because it's not the 80s. So this is called the Rush MOAB 6, made by 511 Tactical, and I just love this bag, and it's going to be part of this review. So first off, let's talk about the strap. It is a sling. It's a sling strap, so it's designed to go cross-body. This, of course, goes over one of your shoulders, and it is ambidextrous, so you can switch which side you want to swing it over for the crossbody. You do have this front pouch here, excuse me, and Velcro for if you have a unit patch, another unit patch here if you want to Velcro anything there. A smartphone will fit in here, but I use it for my iPod. Now, be aware though that if you do have some kind of otter case or some kind of protective case for your smartphone, it might not fit in here correctly, or it'll be really snug and practicality will be out the window because it'll be very hard to close this pocket. It's very useful, but be aware, and I'll show you where I keep my other one. And we do have the main compartment right here, and this is where I put my Filofax. Fits in here just nice. If we're taking this out to the field, an MRE will fit perfectly in here, but at times my wife and I have used this as a diaper bag, and it works. So, diapers, travel wipe, snacks, because he's a big boy, and some fruit. There, we're ready to rock and roll. See, we took this to the mall, and I even have, I'm kind of a survivalist, and we'll go over some of the other items that I have in here, but and like I said earlier, an MRE will fit in here, but as you can see, a diaper bag will fit in here. And I have room in there to fit more clothes, so any baby clothes. Now there is a front pocket, and here I do keep a pocket knife, a Gerber pocket knife. I'm really into Gerber. I have a torch, a precision toolkit. I have an extra pencil, extra black pen, a blue pen, and a red pen. These are, let's see here, Paper Mate Ink Joys. These my wife gave me, and she recommended these writing utensils for me, and I really like them. Let's see. I also have a magnesium starter kit, because where we live is up north in the United States, so you never know when you might need to start a fire. I'll go over durability of this thing in a little bit, but it's part of my emergency kit. And over here I do have, there are a couple pockets in the front section of the front pocket. So there I keep my multi-tool, and I do have a set of mints. But I did finish these off, and now I use them to carry 80 gigabytes of thumb drive space. So I just finished off the mints. I put some double-sided tape on the bottom, and I put some foam padding. So I use that to carry my thumb drives. See, ready to go. Where I keep my phone is right here. It is a Galaxy S3 with an otter case, so it is humongous, but it fits in here nice. And if you have a concealed carry, a Glock 17 will fit in here. But I use this for my phone, so when I'm carrying around and the general calls, hey wifey, what's up, blah blah blah, there you go. Quick, fast, able to talk to my wife and no problem. Let's see, what else? What else can I talk about? Oh yeah, there is a pocket next to the pouch I mentioned earlier, and it's fleece lined, so you keep things like sunglasses there. And another back pocket, which I keep extra matches. And yeah, these make really good tinder. And like I said, we are up north, and if we need to make a fire, this will catch a flame really well. Not to mention they're super absorbent. And I have glow sticks. So yeah, that's the Rush MOAB 6. It does use a MOLE system, so all this stitch lining here you could fit. See, I just put buckles there, but you could attach things like a canteen pouch if it is MOLE compatible. It'll be interoperable with this thing, so you could take a canteen pouch, put it to the front, put it to the side, and you're ready to go. So there, it is in the survival/diaper bag configuration. Not to mention the wonderful Filofax that's inside of it. So there we go. So that concludes my review of these two wonderful items. Well, actually, it's mostly on the Filofax with the 511 Rush MOAB 6 bag supplementing it, but mostly it is on the Filofax. I love this thing. I'm glad my wife got it for me. I am now a believer. I have seen the light. Hallelujah. I love this thing. I use it all the time. And And yeah, if you're one of those guys out there that might be in a similar situation where your wife is really into it and she's on Facebook and looking at Filofaxes nonstop, looking for the greatest deals, look past all that, because there is a good use for it, and if you are in a similar situation, you think you could incorporate it the same way I am, it's perfect. So keeps everything in order for me. I could already see I'm performing better in my fitness, and I got all my stuff together at work. So I love it. Yeah. And that concludes my review. And again, I'm Max. I go by Max Holborn in the YouTube world, as well as Facebook. Obviously, it's not my real name. I don't like putting my real name on the internet. I like the fact that I could Google my real name and I can't find anything on me. I'm not a big fan of stalkers and frauds, so identity theft, but I do go by Max Holborn. I am in a couple of groups. I'm going to put this video on the video shared group that's on Facebook. So again, thank you for watching, and that's my review of the Holborn. Oh, I might do a review on an A5 original that my wife got me for Christmas, but I don't know, it's kind of hard to beat the Holborn, so I might take the A5 original out for a test drive one of these days, and I'll give you my review there too. But yeah, that's it. Thank you very much.